Okay. Hello.
Hey, what's up? What's up, fellas?
We are back.
Yeah,
Mostly. Anyway.
yeah. I know I've been AWOL audience because I've been sick and I'm still a little sick today, but we're bringing our special guest Shannon back today, and I didn't want to miss part two. So, but it looks like we got some little elves here today.
They have been asking me to hop on again for a long time, and I'm sitting in our present wrapping room, and so they were not allowed in for a little while. One of them walked in, they're like, "Can I come in here again?"
Right, right.
Yes, you can.
Well,
Can
the elves should
you say hi, guys?
Hi.
well, welcome, Misfits Managed Nation. Welcome, boys. This is your boy, Coach G, and
And Lauren.
did you see that? I think that was from the last show. I was like, what the heck was that?
What? Interesting. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, Micah's here. How
Hi,
you doing,
Micah.
Micah?
Yeah, I'm excited because since Shannon was on last, she has had some crazy things going, and hey, watch out. As usual, we are both crazy, as are these two. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pointing at the chat.
They're pointing at what?
They're pointing at the chat.
Oh, thank you,
I'm
sis.
pointing at that.
Okay. Um, yeah. I'm glad to have you back. I've missed you. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Sis, I haven't wanted to be on the phone. I mean, I'm at work on the phone, so I come
Okay.
up and get into bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Well, on that note, let's go ahead and get our lovely guest on here, and let's hop straight into her story. Shannon, come on in.
come on
Hey
in,
guys,
Shannon. What's up, girl?
how's it going?
Good.
Going good.
I couldn't miss part two. I'm not 100%, but I was like, I can't miss it today.
You sound better than you did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds like he can function this time.
right.
Yes.
Right. My head feels like it's.
Oh.
But how are you, young lady?
I'm doing well. This is my second day in a new facility, so um, change is always hard at first, but once we work out the kinks, we'll be okay. So,
Well,
Yeah.
so catch this up. Lauren was just talking about that. I know a lot has happened to you since 2 weeks ago when you were on the show. So, before you
yep.
get started in part two, catch us up, recap. What's up?
Actually, I was going to talk about part two is going to be basically my journey through my hospital stay because it's been over 6 months now. But in the last couple weeks, I've been able to sit up for a little bit at a
Okay.
time. Um, they call it setting protocol. It's um, 15 minutes. I started at 15 minutes twice a day for 5 days. And then I started sitting for 30 minutes twice a day for 5 days. So I'm in the middle of 30 right now. I'm on day two of that.
Okay. Are you
So,
sitting up
and
now,
then
right?
it goes to sort of, not all the
Okay.
way, but more than I was last time.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it goes to 45 minutes twice a day and then an hour twice a day. And then I have a appointment with my surgeon on the 13th. So we'll see what happens after that.
Okay. January.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are you thinking? What are you looking for? What do we need to be praying for? You got Misfits Managed Nation out there. So, what do they need to be praying for you?
Peace of mind.
Okay.
Um,
The boys are waving at you too, real quick.
I my weight's gone up quite a bit since I've been here, but that was expected to. I've been on to complete bed rest for almost 8 weeks now, up until the time that I was going to be able to sit up for a bit. Um, so I knew that was going to happen, but up until now, it really hasn't bothered me much. But
Okay.
I know it will go away. I know that once I get active again, it'll go away. So um, that's basically what I've been dealing with today, as far as trying to get over that. But as far as surgery goes, he wants one part of the wound to heal on its own, see how far it'll heal on its own before he decides if we have to go back in and do more surgery.
Okay.
So, but go ahead.
That's all looking good.
Yep, so far
You're on pace for everything. Okay, good.
I am. Um, so do you want me to start from the beginning and go from through what I've been through, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, I want to. I know everybody else wants to hear because the little bit I know sounds like Lauren might know more, but I know I've been out of the picture because I've been sick. But um,
You
I
actually got the
know.
very beginning of it because that's when we started chatting.
Okay. Well, you
Um,
start from wherever you want to start.
on June 20th, I couldn't get out of bed. I basically was felt like I was glued to the bed and couldn't sit up. Once I sat myself up, I tried to transfer into my wheelchair that I use for mobility on a daily basis. Um, and I missed my transfer and hit the floor.
Oh.
So I had to, because I was not strong enough. I was that sick, and I had to drag myself and my wheelchair to the restroom because that's where I transfer onto the toilet because it's more sturdy than my wheelchair is from the ground. So I tried to do that. I tried to get up on the toilet 4 times. Um, three, the first 3 times were controlled falls, or controlled misses, but the fourth one was not, and everything vibrated from my hips up, in pain. And I
Oh.
knew I was pretty much done being independent physically at this point. Luckily, I don't know whether it was because I'm addicted to my phone or because I knew I probably needed to call somebody at this point. But I took my phone with me along with my chair and ended up calling my parents. Um, and they came to get me. I was still on the floor, in and out of consciousness. Um,
Hmm.
so they took me to the doctor. So they took me to the ER, and they took me straight into surgery because it was that bad. I in the first 22 days of me being in the hospital, I had 10 surgeries in 22 days, and it was all to remove the infection from the wound that I have. Um, and then after that, I spent 2.5 weeks at KU Med Center, and then after that, no, I spent 36 days in KU Med Center. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. And then I went to Kindred Northland, which was a great experience. I was there for 90 days, but
Okay.
there I had to. I was on a wound vac for that whole time, majority of the time, to heal the wound and um, basically get it to the size where they could do flap surgery or plastic surgery, or
Okay.
where they took all the infection out because it was pretty deep. Um,
This is the
if I'm getting
infection you said could be fatal, right?
correct, they when I was in my first surgery, when I first got to the ER, they said that they can't see me. Okay, when I a nurse came out and told my parents that if they would have gotten me there 2 or 3 hours later, I wouldn't be here. That's how bad the infection was. So
Septic.
I'm sorry.
Septic.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
very septic, very septic. I don't remember a lot of the first 3 or 4 days because I was in and out of consciousness quite a bit. And what I'm telling you from those 3 or 4 days is from other people, doctors and nurses, and my parents, because I don't remember a whole lot. I remember bits and pieces, but that's about it. Um, then I was at Kindred for 90 days, like I said, with wound back and all that. Um, and I could get up, okay, a little bit here and there, um, which was nice because I could be up for like an hour at a time before at that point with the wound back. So I was mobile then to a certain degree, which was nice. And then after Kindred, I went back to KU for surgery on October 24th. Had the flap surgery. It went well. Um, the wound was so big that he was questioning whether he was going to be able to do it in one surgery or have to do it in 2 or 3. And he was able to do it in one. But because it was such a big wound, he left a couple spots open because he wanted them to heal on their own. See how far that would get. And then I got I was at KU after that for 2.5 weeks, and then I went to and trying to I went to Specialty Select Hospital in KCK. It's right across from Providence Hospital, and I was there for 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks maybe. No, yeah, it was about 5 or 6 weeks ish, and then that was for bed rest, and I started my sitting protocol there because I started bed rest at KU, and it came. I finished it at Select, and
Okay.
then after they took the stitches out of where he did the surgery, they I was at Select for maybe 4 or 5 more days, and then I am currently at Villa St. Francis um, for just to get the healing process done, getting through my sitting protocol, and then I have an appointment with my surgeon on the 13th of January, which will tell me if I need to have more surgery or not.
Okay.
So this is kind of the landing point at this point between that appointment and the decision to either have surgery or go into rehab to get stronger. Um, so that's where I'm at right now. I, so, you guys have any questions, or what do you want me to touch on? Any more of that, or because I have a lot, I want to go into it in a different direction, but I wanted to get the physical stuff over with first.
Right. No,
So,
we appreciate you sharing. That is some incredible information, and I'm blown away and thankful, obviously, to the Lord that you had the insight to take the phone to be able to call your parents, and they could, make arrangements to get you to the ER and all of that. So I'm thankful. Lord, we take time. We pause right now to say thank you for that. I'll let you continue down the path you want. I definitely, though, I want to hear. I know there's been some very powerful things that have happened to you since the last time you were here and shared. So you're driving the bus tonight. We'll obviously prompt you in different directions, but I just don't want you to forget that part, because your share not only activated you, but obviously there's activated some other
you're gonna
people.
have to remind me because I don't know what direction you're going, and I
Okay.
can't remember. I'm sorry. But when I was going through the 10 surgeries, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was easier than the mental and emotional part.
Mm,
Um, because it happened so fast, I didn't have time to think about it.
right.
and that's what made it easy. Um, when I got to Kindred, that's when the tough part started because it was just a waiting game. At that point, when I was born, I felt like I had to be strong from the second I was out of the second I arrived because um, they my parents didn't know I was going to have a disability. No, everybody was surprised, and I was basically immediately carted off to a hospital, a city away from where I was born, because they didn't have the back in the early '80s. They didn't have the medical knowledge that they do now in order to take care of that stuff.
Yep.
So I've always felt like I had to be strong,
Okay.
and I never gave myself a chance to be weak or be at peace or or calm, basically. Um, within those 90 days at Kindred, in the beginning, I was just coming off of the 10 surgeries, and it took me a minute to wrap my head around what was really happening. And this is the cool part, for me anyway. I feel like God completely disrupted my life just to talk to me. And within those 90 days, I became a different person
I
internally.
would, I would agree with that. So let's pause right there. I think that's important. Um, well, look at that comment, Jenny.
I can't see it. You got to read it to me.
Okay. You are such an amazing, you are such an amazingly strong woman to get through all of this thus far. Your testimony is powerful. God is definitely walking by your side. And then the one before it, Food is Art, which is saying,
Micah.
Micah,
Micah is, Shannon, I'm so proud of you. You look so much lighter. So, um, I,
internally, I am.
so I want
Got
you
to
to
work on
understand
the external when I get out of here.
that again.
So I said, internally, I am. I got to work on the external when I get out of here, but that'll come.
Okay.
Anyway, um, I just felt like um, I got to basically relax. And it was, I wasn't on human time. I've been away from the outside world for so long, away from all the noise, away from the distractions, away from people that um, could affect me negatively, um, or in a way that I am not anymore, or I'm trying not to be anymore. Um, and it's been very eye opening, and I've been able to let go of a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of things. Um, when tough times come, you know who your circle is.
Yeah.
You definitely
Yep.
know because a lot of people disappear,
Yep.
especially after this long.
Yep.
Yep.
And I've been appreciative to you guys, to our circle, for sticking with me and helping me grow, um, and to get through this. Basically, um, well, I've tried to have the mindset of everything's going to be fine. I've um, I've learned to ask myself, instead of asking myself, why is this happening to me? I always ask myself, what is this trying to teach me?
Right.
With every situation that I've been in, including yesterday, which was hard. Um, new scenery, new people. Got to re-explain everything.
Yep.
They got to get to know you. You got to get to know them. So, and you got to do it quick because you're in the middle of. I'm at the tail end of this thing,
Right.
and It may not seem like it because I have about 2 months to go, but in the big scheme of things, I'm almost done.
Well, my concern
So
is without keep focusing on you, which I think is great because I think all of us as misfits, we've all gone through that journey of darkness or isolation. I mean, we've talked about that. There it is, Jenny saying
one
it.
second.
Power
Right
and
here.
isolation.
Go ahead and read it, Lauren.
Sorry. Jenny says, there's power in isolation. God works his greatest miracles when we are silent and obedient.
Did you hear that, Shannon?
I did. Sorry, nurses were at the door.
Okay.
Told them not to come in after 9:15, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, they got to do it. We understand. But I want you to spit out some things for us because we've talked a lot about this type of journey, and
Yep.
Lauren and I have learned, and along with our audience has learned. Here it comes, Lauren. There's jewels along the way, jewels of the journey. So we've learned in darkness, if you slow down and be silent, just to Jenny's point right there, be silent, be obedient. There's jewels in that journey that you can pick up that you can only get in that place of darkness or isolation. So help us maybe
Right.
understand what are some of the jewels of the journey that you've encountered.
The internet is a wonderful thing, for
Oh,
one, and I know that's not what you're looking for right now. But before I forget to mention it, the only person that I've actually met, or only people I've actually met within our circle, are Izzy and James. I've seen you guys, but I never introduced myself that day. I've gotten to know each and every one of you online or over the phone. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm.
Which,
Complete.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited to get out and meet you guys in person finally and get hugs and whatnot. But I think another jewel that is take things with a grain of salt.
Ooh, yeah.
People are going to be people are going to be who they are. And while I've been able to be away from most of the noise, occasionally it enters, and that's okay. I just gotta when it's gone, I have to recenter myself and figure out how to get that piece back. But in this situation, I've been able to do that because sometimes isolation needs to happen in a healthy way in order for us to grow. Because we need to not rely so much on external validation and learn how to validate ourselves and love ourselves.
Sounds like one of the jewels that you picked up along the way.
It is. And Micah came to visit a few days ago.
Okay, so this is where I was headed. That's where I was headed.
And I know. It clicked finally. I took a detour, but it clicked.
I know there's special events and things that have happened since your story, part one. So let's talk about that. What's that look like?
The energy that she brought when she walked in that room was incredible.
Oh.
And I could feel it when she hugged me too. And one of the things that we talked about was that God can heal me quicker than I think. And I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that she said was, I have to be ready to accept it and ready to move on and ready to go on to the next step. And what?
Micah says, girl, don't go making me cry.
But she was right. And it's not just ready physically, because physically right now, there's not much I can do
Yep.
to heal myself. Um, it's internally. I have to get myself ready physically and mentally in order to take that next step. Because right
Yep.
now, I have not been, I haven't had to do anything in my life. Everybody's been doing it for me. I mean, you got nurses and doctors and CNAs and all that stuff. All those people waiting on your hand and foot. Well, it's not the best scenario. You can get pretty used to it if you're not careful, especially after this long.
I think you're discounting
And
something, though, Shannon, in that statement. There's part of it that I don't agree with because you do bear some weight in your healing because you're
I do. You're right.
forgetting the power of your tongue. You're forgetting the power of your tongue that you can literally speak healing for yourself into existence and then sit back and watch it manifested if you sit in faith and believe. So, along with what the doctors and nurses and CNAs and all these other people are doing for you and all of that, you can be doing that for yourself.
Right. And I agree. And when well, it's
You threw a
I've been
squirrel
more.
in there, G.
I did. You did. Thank you. um, my focus has been on my internal healing more than my physical.
Mhm.
But because it's been focused more on my internal healing, because that's what I have more control over, um, the physical has healed itself too. And my wound care nurse at Kindred said the same thing. If your mental and emotional state goes down, your physical is going to go with it.
Oh yeah.
So I've had to remember that. And when people are out of the room and I'm by myself, I do something. And then sometimes it's a lot of different things to figure out what I need at that moment to bring myself back to the place that I need to be internally,
Yeah.
whether it
What
be
are some,
music, coloring, or journaling,
okay?
or anything like that. Was that going to be your question?
Yep.
Yep. Mine too.
Okay. Micah brought me some coloring books, so thank you.
Aw.
Um, yeah, music has been huge. Um, some
Healing.
days it's not the most positive music, but because I got to get some of that rage out at times,
Yeah.
and then I go back to the other music. Um, but personal development videos too. Um, I have a few mentors that I listen to on a regular basis um, on YouTube and podcasts. You guys have helped tremendously with the guests that you've had on, such as Micah and Abigail, to just name a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Getting to know you guys on through these platforms has been amazing. And APYN, that any chance I get to connect with somebody out in the real world through here, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've also been. We talked a little bit about this the first time. I've been taking a certification course to become a performance
Yay.
coach. So I've been doing that as well to keep myself busy and keep myself straight. So,
So
Okay.
proud of you for
um,
that, by the way.
and I know you don't need a certification, but it opens more doors. So
Well
You know,
spoken.
definitely.
Coach Shannon's been a definite inspiration and everything, but I was just wondering because I know a lot of times on the show y'all talk about the need for healing and how the healing is all of our healing, meaning the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, and everything like that. And you kind of mentioned the coloring books, and I was actually thinking because this past weekend here in Durham, North Carolina, where I am at, was our Christmas parade, and we had a number of groups that you would not expect, like people that are in their middle ages that were rollerblading and doing other things, even like a cheerleading troop. I don't think they were in the parade this year, but I was just wondering what is something that you are looking forward to doing in the healing process when you are more healed? You kind of mentioned the coloring books, but I just wondered if there's something that you're looking forward to being able to do in your healing as you continue to heal.
Well, Mark's stealing my thunder because my question was going to be a little simpler, but what's next? What's your next step out of this?
Either surgery or rehab, or after everything's done, or surgery or rehab. And I'm going to figure that out on the 13th. I don't know which one yet.
Well, so let's say the surgery stuff is done and your rehab is done. Once you finish all that, then and you're done, you're healed, you're ready to go. What are you going to be doing? What's next?
Coaching, and going to be starting to put my story out on different platforms. I am scheduled to talk in April with AYPN.
Okay.
And then
That'll be in
a
person.
couple of other podcasts too. Yes, in person. So it's going to have to be a slow progression because I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to stay up still. And I have to listen to my body this time because I'm not real good at that, or haven't been in the past.
Right.
So I've got to behave somewhat. But a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be doing is going to be online first.
Okay.
But one of the things that I'm going to try to do that I have gotten away from in my adult years, that I was I would say addicted to when I was a kid and throughout high school and college, was working out. I've lived in my apartment I've had my apartment since June of last year, and I haven't been in their weight room yet. And it's part of the rent and all that stuff. It's all included. So I'm going to take advantage of that and get myself back in shape and healthy again. And just, it's taught me to live in the moment.
Right.
This whole thing has taught me to live in the moment. So as far as long-term things, speaking and coaching is my short answer. I'm sure that the doors will open when I get out of here for that, and that they already have to a certain degree. Yeah, taking time for myself more often in a good way. One of the other things, and I haven't gone public with this yet, a few people know, but not very many. Before I got in the hospital, I was only 6 days sober. And I don't remember what I don't remember how many days it's been. Probably, but I'm about 180 something days sober now.
From alcohol?
I've done this. Yeah, I've done this without alcohol, and I know everybody's going to say you've been in the hospital, you're not allowed to have alcohol, but you can sneak it in here. I mean, it's possible, but I've gone from that frame of mind that I can't have it because I'm in the places that I am, to I don't want it because I want to live the rest of my life intentionally, whatever that might look like. I don't know what that went. I don't know what that'll look like right now. I have an idea, but you know how God is. He throws stuff at you all the time. So hoping the doors will open, and yeah.
What changes do you feel have come from that? I mean, that's a major battle that you've taken on in the middle of a major battle. You're already in a major battle, and you took on, if we're going to talk war talk, you opened a second front.
Yeah.
Literally. So what's that been like? Because you got two wars waging here. Because I know your body is
I never
fighting.
really thought about it, honestly.
Say that again.
Until I never really thought about it, especially in the beginning, because I was just trying to get through it. But when I had time to think about it in that 3 months, I never really had a craving for it anymore. Um, I don't want to go back to those ways. I really don't, because I know what they can do, and that's probably the biggest take out of this whole thing, that I've gotten, along with the spiritual journey and all that, becoming peace, having peace inside. Um, but that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon,
That makes sense.
just really quickly, I was wondering how much have you reconnected? It's actually a two-part question. How much do you feel you've reconnected with nature? Because as Coach knows, I'm a big fan of getting out in nature and everything. And how much have you reconnected with your own feeling of empathy, even on this journey that you're going on in sobriety? So how much have you reconnected to your own journey of empathy?
During this journey, there's been a journey of forgiveness for other people,
Mm-hmm.
but in the last few weeks, I was thinking about it because I wasn't completely at peace. Um, I hadn't forgiven myself for past experiences, and the way I've treated myself, the way I've treated other people, um, in the midst of all that went on. Um, so yeah, I and I wasn't forgiving I was doing it for them, but I was doing it for myself more so, forgiving them because you don't have control over whether they accept that forgiveness or not.
Right.
Um,
Well, that part's not your responsibility. I mean, it's our job
right,
to seek and ask for the forgiveness, and whether it's accepted or not, we're not held accountable for that.
right.
Boy, look at that comment.
I can't see these. I'm on my phone, so you're gonna have to read them.
Jenny says, proud of you. All that you have overcome in such a short time is completely amazing. You are a true inspiration to many. There you go.
Pause and chew on that, Shannon.
I want to ask her a question though,
Go ahead.
Ask
because
away.
I know what she means, but the word inspiration is used a lot in the disabled community. What has it inspired her to do? If it inspires you to make a change or to live in a certain way, that's awesome. But if you're just saying, and I'm not, I appreciate the comment. I love the comment. But if you're just saying it to say it just because we're quote unquote out, and then this is in general, not to one person, it's in general, it doesn't make sense to say it. But yeah, what has it inspired in you to do differently or change or do more of?
She's chewing on that answer.
I
She's up now. So
didn't
let's.
offend her, did I?
No, she's typing up her response.
Okay. Um, yeah, the word inspiration in the disability community is thrown out there way too much. And I know that wasn't her intent, but I just figured I'd throw that out there just for the sake of throwing it out there.
No, after she's saying she loves that and respects that, that's a powerful statement. Powerful observation.
Because if you're not going to do anything, why am I an inspiration? I mean, that was just my take on it. Anyway, where were we going? I had a scroll moment. Sorry.
Yes. Good, we can redirect now that I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had to go take a call from my dad.
I'm sorry. Everything okay?
Hopefully.
Okay.
He's my grandpa isn't doing good.
I'm sorry, sis.
All right. So
Well,
where were we going with all that? Oh, here we go.
Jenny's. I know she's responding to your comment, and then Micah's now commenting too.
All right. Micah says, the inspiration is in the light God shines from within you. When we see others stand strong as God's miracles, we are inspired to have faith.
True.
I would say your inspiration for me, if I'm going to stay in that word, is no quit. You know, never quit.
I've come too far for that.
Yeah, but that being said, you could have. Plenty of other people have. So that was your resolve not to quit, but plenty of people have. It makes me think about some of my situations. I love what you said when you referenced the alcohol, that you no longer had the taste in your mouth, which reminds me of my story. I told the Lord, I don't have, 2 weeks, 2 months to go through a 12-step program, that you have to take this from me right now. And I use that word. You have to take the taste of this out of my mouth, literally right now. And when you said that, I was like, oh, wow. I remember that.
It was so bad that I didn't, even when I didn't want to drink, I still went to get it. It was that process. It was a repetition or routine
Okay.
type thing that I couldn't break. So, that was the biggest part of it at the end. But I think that also what I've come out of this with so far is that I'm not afraid to speak my truth,
Yeah.
no matter who it's for or who it's to. I found myself putting people on pedestals that that they didn't belong on. And not taking away the fact that they deserve respect, but we're human. I mean, I don't care what your role is in life. I mean,
Right.
everybody should be treated the same.
So that goes beautifully. Sorry, I got to interrupt real quick with what Jenny answered with that question. She says, thank you for asking, first of all. Inspires me to be brave enough to step out and be okay to make a change despite what others may think of us. We also allow God to continue to walk step by step with us. You inspire her to continue to be strong and step out of her box and speak from her heart.
Awesome. And that's why I've chosen to do this in the setting that I've chosen to do it in, at least right now, instead of waiting till I get out of here.
Wait a minute. Come on, this. That was a powerful statement in response to your question.
It was.
And you got to sit and marinate on that for a minute. Give yourself some credit. So you challenged an audience member to, share what their inspiration was, and she came strong.
Thank you.
Like, oh dang.
But to your point, G, I wouldn't have done that 6 months ago.
Well, so chewing on that, what does that say? What does that mean to you? What does that say to you? What does that speak to you? Because that being said, you are the root cause of that inspiration that she's speaking of. Has that sunk in yet?
No.
No.
No. I appreciate the comment, but it hasn't sunk in yet. And it probably won't until probably a couple days later, because that's just what I do.
But that's what I'm trying to get you to slow down for just a minute, just to absorb that there was just a powerful event. We saw witness right here, live.
Micah says, ripples.
Exactly.
That show was fun. You know what I'm talking. You remember when that show?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're not gonna we're going back and forth yet. Anyway, yeah, when she was here, I was telling her that I didn't check, I didn't go back and watch my first one for a few days, for like 4 or 5 days. What?
Micah goes, that's exactly how I said it in my head, Lauren.
All right, I'm grabbing my phone. Hang on a second. um, oh, thanks, Micah. I lost my train of thought. Um,
Well, Shannon, I got to tell
what
you
was
while
it?
you're thinking. I was really excited.
Oh, it's gone. I'm not even thinking about anything. It's gone. I don't know. Where, go ahead.
We'll focus on this
Sorry.
squirrel then.
Okay.
I was really excited when you were okay doing this from the hospital because of exactly why you wanted to do it from the hospital. And because it is different. It is not a studio. It's not a
It's not a perfect setting.
it is not. And last week or 2 weeks ago, yeah, when you text me and said, "Hey, by the way, I'm in a hospital gown," and I was like, "Great, if you're in, I'm in," and you said, "Let's do this anyway," and the fact that you were okay to do that, to say, "I'm going to tell my story how I am, where I am," is huge because there are so many people who would say, "I look like crap. I feel like crap. I'm in a hospital. I'm in a hospital bed, hospital gown. There's no way I'm going to do a podcast that in this setting." And you said, "Let's do it. This is my reality right now. This is where I'm at."
And before I forget it again, it came back to me.
Oh, good.
When Micah was here, I was telling her that I hadn't gone to rewatch my thing, the first show again,
Yeah.
until like 4 or 5 days later, and then I saw it had over 100 views. I was afraid to brag about that. I felt like it was selfish, but it's not, and I know that now. My initial thought was it is selfish, but it's not, because it just proves that I'm doing the right thing. It's what people need to hear. So.
Yep.
So again, I'm challenging you to pause and grab this jewel of the journey that's like right in front of you, and accept. I don't want to say glory, but um, accept that you are the catalyst for all of this change that we're talking about tonight. This inspiration that we're talking about. You are the force behind that, and I know. I would say God is the force behind you, keeping you strong, but
He's working through you.
right, there's this thing called free will. At any point in this process, you could have said no, and you could have quit. You could have given up. So another inspiration for me was coming on tonight is I don't feel good, but I'm like, to your point, Lauren, I was like, Shannon is sitting up in a hospital bed. How do I not jump on the show because I don't feel good?
Well, that's different. Gee, I wouldn't have done it in the first 22 days. I was trying to survive at that point, and so were you.
No, that's a little
Well,
different. I
he's been
wasn't like
trying to survive the past 2 weeks, to be honest.
What was that?
You've been trying to survive the past 2 weeks being sick. 3, sorry.
Not to the extent, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You felt like crap. So, yeah.
So I'm just saying, give yourself some credit. You know, it, it's okay sometimes to, and I do it all the time now because you know what? The world's not going to do it.
No.
The world's not going to celebrate you. No, they won't have any problem tearing you down.
And it's the closest people to you that usually do it, tear you
Yeah.
down.
Mark, go up 2 comments. Go up 2 to Jenny's first comment. Read that, Lauren.
You're making him read a lot.
You do it so well.
Give
Sorry,
yourself
I'm blind
the
and
credit you
it's too small for
deserve.
me.
I understand sometimes it's hard to accept when others speak positively about us. It's okay to sit in it.
And the last part of that sentence is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's what you've got to learn to do when you've inspired a positive event and change. Sit in it. Just pause and sit in it. Absorb all of that energy, all that goodness that you are the originator of. That's powerful. So when you go back through this and reflect on some of these comments, you got to reflect from the standpoint that you created this space. You created this inspiration. God used you.
And I'm probably going to go down one of those rabbit holes that Lauren loves to teach me about and everything. But if you don't think you're an inspiration and all along those lines, one of my favorite commercials and everything is actually, and I can't remember the main character, but it's the Shriners Club and everything like that. And it's that young man that comes on is oftentimes talking about what he's gone through and how it's inspiring other people to give that money to the Shriners Hospital.
Is it the kid in the chair?
I can't think of the young man's name because there are several of them, but the main one is kind of like the little short guy and everything. But
yeah.
So
Hating
you
on the
were
short
kind of
guy
serving as an adult version of that to some degree on this podcast. You're inspiring people that you may not even know that you're touching, kind of to that point that you saw the 100 people and everything. Because I know that commercial, I don't know how it touches Lauren and Coach, but I know it touches me every time I see it. I'm going like,
it takes away your excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so I honestly, I'm kind of thinking of and okay. How can I put this into words right now? My brain is tired.
What did Jenny say?
Well, since your brain is tired, I'll take that for you, Lauren. I'll let you break and everything. So God has a purpose and set out for you, and you were just beginning to. So basically, like I was saying, God has a purpose for you in terms of your destiny, and you're only beginning to go on your journey, is what she's saying.
I believe that.
And would you say that, back to your point you had made earlier, Shannon, that God put you down to remove toxicity from your life?
Yeah, I'm so stubborn that he had to almost put me in a position where I was gonna almost die to get me to listen. And he didn't, because he can do that. But yeah, it took almost losing my life to be able to listen.
But
and come back to it.
I hope you listen to words that just came out of your mouth when you go back through this, because we've learned here in Misfits Managed Nation that we have to die in order to live.
Right.
To reach our best self, we have to die. That's a prerequisite. And you're just walking it out.
Yeah. Well, sort of. Sorry, I had to put that in there.
Coach and Lauren, you know that I think that's what Shannon says. We're all works in
progress. Coach G, that's just how I roll. What? Did you not hear me? I said that's just how I roll.
That's like, okay, cool.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, I'm trying to save you from sticking your foot in your mouth. And
I'm gonna get you to accept a compliment one of these days.
Yeah, those are hard to take at times because I'm not used to it.
Okay, so Shannon, I want to know, since we probably need to start wrapping up and let Coach G go get some sleep. So far, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit here.
Yeah.
I don't like that hand clap, by the way.
So far, what has been your biggest eye-opening personal, I don't know, aha moment, light bulb moment, whatever you want to call it, that has made the biggest impact since you have been in the hospital, spending some time with you?
It doesn't matter who it is, but whether it be a nurse, doctor, CNA, what have you, if they're having a bad day, they're comfortable enough to lay it all out there when they're in my room. And then they catch themselves in the midst of it and say, well, that was unprofessional. What did she say?
Micah said, "Coach be coaching."
Right.
They said, I shouldn't be doing this. It's not professional. And I got to go take care of my other patients. And I said, yes, but you're going to sit here and you're going to talk it out, because if you don't talk it out, you're not going to be able to take care of the other patients, or me the way you need to take care of them, because you're not being able to take care of yourself. Or you're not willing to take care of yourself. So I'm going to make you at this point in time, because you've stepped in my bubble.
So do you realize that while you are taking this lovely coaching certification,
that I'm doing it anyway?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
that has been brought up. Is
Okay.
that where you were going? Is that
That's
where you were
exactly
going
where
with?
I'm going with that.
Okay.
We're just saying. That's all. We're just saying. IGS or IJS.
The funny thing is, I'm not taking y'all's training that y'all taking Kansas and everything, but I would imagine, knowing other coaches, even coaches here in North Carolina, that one of the things I've observed, and correct me if I'm wrong, haven't most coaches truly been coaches all their lives, whether they want to admit it or not, and everything is just a matter of getting the recognition?
Unpaid coaches.
You were probably coaching even when you were in grade school, Shannon. I would guess that you would probably had some coaching things that you were doing even at that time, if you reflect back then.
Probably.
Good point, Mark.
Couple mic drops there.
But yeah, when I brought that up during one of our Zooms, in one of the classes, the guy that's running the class said, "You realize what you're doing when you do that?" Because we have to get 50 hours of coaching and before we can get our certification. I said, well, if I remember the days and times and people, because I know they'd let me,
Yeah.
because and he said, at the time, he said yes, that I could use that towards my 50, and I'm like, oh, I'm almost done.
Okay,
I was
well,
gonna say, you're gonna walk out of there with the certification, girlfriend.
No, I'm not.
and you got the final thought, Coach Shannon. Misfits Nation is listening and watching. Give us a coaching final thought.
All of your wisdom.
Get out of your own way.
Boom.
Ooh, and it's all about being simple. I love that.
Let God do his thing and get out of your own way, or get out of his way. So
Love that.
That's what I've been trying to do. Sometimes I get in the way, but I can pull myself out of it and say, you need to get the heck out of the way and let him do his job.
Well, Mike asked you the question, where's the faith?
Michael, that's my comment.
Where's that faith coming from? Mike asked you that. Where's that faith coming from?
if I answer this wrong, she's going to text me and say, "What is wrong with you?" From inside us, because that's where.
She's telling you to get out of God's way.
True.
Sounds like Micah doing a little coaching here.
Woo!
Oh, we've gone back and forth. It's been both ways for the last since she's come to visit. It's been both ways.
Oh,
Well,
good.
I'm very happy that you have fruit of your labor. You know, that you get some instant gratification from that relationship's being built with you and Micah. I mean, that's the fruit of you having the courage to come out here and share your story. And the Lord sends you a friend, sends you a kiss that is beautiful.
I'm gonna actually put people on the spot here and everything along those lines. And Lauren and Coach know that I'm gonna do this and everything, but I'm just feeling motivated to do this. And Shannon, you are inspirational. Micah's inspirational. So I think that Shannon and Micah need to get together and do some sort of show on Pod TV on a regular basis and everything along those lines. So it just popped into my head.
I'm up for it.
Shannon Hour and everything. Maybe it's Misfits Managed 2 or something like that. They can come up with their own
I don't
name.
want to take their name. We'll figure out something different.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see them.
We're gonna.
It'll be called a Squirrel Show. How about that?
That'll work.
Yes.
We'll figure it out. But I agree. That would be fun.
Micah says, "Let's go."
What would be a good name for it, Micah? I know you guys are running out of time.
Squirrel.
Huh?
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
But yeah, we got to wind down. You know, your boys' medicine.
That's Mark's show.
Yes. Never mind.
Well, mine's the online dinner party. Y'all could all come on it, but we go there now. It's Squirrel Journeys because it's a literal dinner party.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, we're getting off topic. So,
well, Misfits Managed Nation, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Shannon, for doing round 2, and again from your bed in a less than comfortable atmosphere. But it has been. Ooh, I got some echoes. It has been wonderful. I'm glad to have Coach G back with me, and we will be back with you not next week because that is the week of
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, so I will not be here. But
don't think anybody will be.
We will see you all. I don't know what our next date is.
Because I think the Tuesday after that is the New Year's Eve, so I think it'll be January 7th. Because if 24th is Christmas Eve, and we could do, no, New Year's Eve would be difficult. So my guess is January 7th. 24th and New Year's Eve. So for the next 2 weeks will probably be reruns and everything along those lines. So just let folks know. We have 2 weeks. Will probably be reruns, and we'll come back on the 7th. Shannon, just to let you know, as we're heading out the door, I'm beginning to think that Pod TV is the come as you are show and everything, because one of our shows literally brother has come in his bathrobe and everything, and a member of the Chamber of Commerce, when he does the economic show, it's literally from his bedroom. Fortunately, he's at his desk, but it's from his bedroom. So I'm beginning to think we're the all natural wherever you're at network and everything.
I'm not going to go that far. This is because I can't do it any other way.
Well, in Misfits Managed Nations, we've got a powerful show coming for you on January 7th. That's going to be Jenny. I forgot Morgan's last name. Let me see. It's going to be Morgan Reed. She's a KCK female cop, and Jenny Newsom, which is my wife, and she's a KCK firefighter. So this is going to be amazing when they tell their story of what they do in a thing called, it's Catching Fire, right? Camp Fury. I always mess that up, but I'm excited for them to talk and share. This is going to be amazing for you guys. So We'll start the year with a bang.
Started with a bang.
Started with a bang, and to both of you, as well as Shannon, hope a great holiday season. Hope everybody gets the joy and the family connections that they need, and whatever their wishes are for the holiday season. So that is my wish for all three of you, as well as the rest of the regular listeners of Misfits Managed. So definitely hope that everybody is going to stay safe, but also enjoy their holiday time with family and friends.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Misfits Managed. This is Lauren.
And your boy, Coach G.
Their producer, Bart.
We out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, Misfits Managed Nation. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I so appreciate you. I know Gary and I both appreciate you. I wanted to let you know, though, that being a misfit doesn't stop here. It is a piece of you, and it is a piece that we have to live with every day. But the good news is we can make good from being a misfit, even though it is chalked up to being a bad thing. Let's talk about how to make being a misfit is good. Let us talk about being a phoenix and rising from the ashes. And I want to help you do that through Forged by Fire. That is how you can work with me. And we would do coaching, we can do consulting, we can do one-on-one or group. I also do speaking opportunities. But let's get that inner misfit shining the way you were meant to.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside
isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
find someone you trust and tell them.
You are never alone when you share.
Seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister.
Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
It's how things get better.